Hey guys, it's the Ultimate Filmer here, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be doing yet another Stranger Things effect. Today we're going to be recreating the dark and watery essence of the void. So to make this look as real as possible, I did not use a green screen. So the reason I didn't use a green screen is because not only can they sort of look really fake, it sometimes can be hard to make the lighting look really good, and especially if you're trying to cover a person from head to toe. But anyways, I actually went into a very dark room and then I used only one light to light myself doing the action. And what I also did was sort of make sure that the light wouldn't spill out onto the walls and other objects behind me as much, so that later in post we can darken the background so that it blends perfectly with the scene. And so now we're gonna get on to editing.
Alright, so we're on to editing right now, and you might have noticed that I'm not in PowerDirector. This is DaVinci Resolve, and it's actually the free version. So if you don't have ColorDirector, like I don't have ColorDirector at all, so this is a way I can make a LUT and then import that LUT into PowerDirector and use it on the clip. So to make the LUT, basically all you have to do is just make your adjustments. So what I wanted to do here was crush the blacks so that you can't see the background at all really. And so you can't even see my legs, and that's because I didn't have enough contrast in between that and the background. There wasn't enough light on my legs, but that's okay. I can still see my feet, and therefore you'll be able to see them in the reflection. So what I've done here for curves is I've crushed them like that until it looks good. And another thing I've done is with the luminance and saturation. So for the shadows, I've made sure they're black because I've added like sort of a bluish color to my shadows. This is what it looked like before, and it kind of looks bad, and there we go, that looks better. And same for the highlights, but you can't really tell that much. And I've also desaturated the image just a bit, and so I think this is good, and we're gonna use this. So what I do next is just go onto the clip here, and you right click and you click generate 3D LUT, and then you just save it into a file, and then you can import that file into PowerDirector. And of course, if you have something handy like ColorDirector, you can just do this all in ColorDirector, and it's super easy. Okay, so we have the clip on the timeline the way we like it, and I'm just gonna get rid of the audio because we don't need it, and it's just basically noise. So now what we're gonna do for the LUT is I'm just gonna click on the clip and click Fix Enhance, and then we're gonna go to Color Presets and Color LUTs, and then you can just click this button to import the LUT you've created. If you haven't created a LUT and you're using ColorDirector, then you obviously do not need to do this. Once you've got it imported, just click on it, and then there we go, we have it like that. So what I'm gonna do next is just obviously rotate this. So I'm gonna double click on it. Now we're in the PIP designer, and I'm just gonna zoom out a bit so I can get this rotation handle here, and we're gonna rescale this. So I'm just gonna for now put me right there so that I'm sort of halfway up the screen, and then we'll be able to see the reflection and the effect. So we're just going to click OK for now. And if there are any bits around you, you can just go into Designer, Mask Designer, and then I would just maybe use like this square one here, uncheck Maintain Aspect Ratio, and kind of just get rid of that stuff. Like, I could totally get rid of my feet if I wanted to, but I don't want to, so we're not going to do that. So as you can see, it kind of already looks like I'm in darkness, and it blends really well. Green screen would not have been able to do this, not for me anyway. Now I did use a light from the side and not from the top like in the show. It was like a softer light coming from the top, but I think this looks fine, and it still makes it look very kind of eerie. So this effect is pretty simple on its own, so what I'm going to do is actually add some motion to the shot, just to show you guys how to do it with motion. So if I wanted the camera just to like kind of zoom up to me, I'm just going to click Position and Scale, and then I'm just going to drag that over to the end. Maybe we can just scale it up a little bit, and then we're just going to click OK. And I forgot to mention, you cannot do it with ease in and ease out points, because then you won't be able to move the water at the same part unless you make like a million keyframes, and I don't want to do that. So now it looks like this, and it's starting to look good already. But for now, it kind of just looks like I'm floating there because there's no bottom and there's no reflection yet. So what we have to do to get the reflection is use an effect inside of PowerDirector, which is extremely useful. But what we have to do to apply it is a bit different. So right now, with the progress you have, you're going to go and click Save and save it as a project. There we go. Save it wherever you like. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and create a new project. And from this project, it's completely blank. We're going to go to media content and actually select my projects. And so here's the one I've just created, and what I'm going to do is not click on it because I think that might open it. We're just going to drag it onto the timeline here, and there we go. So now the project is inside of this project. I know it's super confusing. You can even go in there and edit the project, but so we're going to stay here, and what we have to do is make sure there's an effect track right here, and we're just going to click on effects, and we're going to search water, and it's water reflection. So if we just drag it down there, as you can see, it's already starting to work. And if we had done this just in the previous project without creating a new project, it would have been really messed up, and it wouldn't have created a reflection down here. It would have been stuck up here and you can't move it around. So basically, we're just gonna resize the effect so it matches the clip, and then we're gonna click modify. And so it's doing this weird brightness thing. We don't want that. We can put it at 0, or we can either bring it lower. I think that's probably good. And so what we're going to do is mess with these properties right here. So you can do whatever suits your shot. So what I'm going to do is make sure there's some speed. I'm just going to mess around with these. And there we go. I think that looks kind of realistic. So now we're going to go to the beginning. And since our shot is moving, we're going to make sure the vertical mirror center stays near my feet. So we're going to go to keyframe, vertical mirror center. And so for the first frame, I did notice it's a little bit off. It looks like my feet are above the water, and I actually can't put it any higher for some reason. So I'm just going to go back into here on the previous project and just edit that first frame, just make it a little bit higher. There we go. Now it should be able to work, and we're going to go back and click modify on the water reflection and keyframe. So now I should be able to line it up with my feet properly so they actually look like they're in the water. And I think that looks good, so we're just going to do that, and then we're going to go to the end here and click keyframe, drag the vertical mirror center to where my feet are now, and there we go. So now the water reflection follows with your movement, or the camera movement, I guess, and it actually looks like a shot now that's in 3D space, but we all know that's not what's going on here, and it actually looks very convincing. I'm pretty sure the show did do this practically in a studio or something, because they did have like water ripples when the feet were like walking, and it looked like they're in like about an inch of water, but you need a lot of space, and you kind of need to have like a whole set up for that to be going on. So this is a very simple way of doing it, and obviously I'm not moving around, but I think it looks pretty convincing.
So thank you all for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and perhaps subscribing if that interests you, and I'll see you all later. Bye!